Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle, Reiki, spiritual healer. And as we continue to break down the air that's around us, as we continue to discern the frequencies that have been sent out towards us, then we have to start, in our home life. We have to start in our relationships to understand why we are being attacked. And I'm going to give you 3 different understandings and narratives from the Holy Bible, from the Holy Books. And the first one is that the shayateen, the negative entity, was a very beautiful person. They had a very seductive voice. And they are attracted to those type of people. So we want to understand as women, and we'll start with the women first, that when you are a very beautiful person, then it is easy for you to be attracted to the shayateen by entities. Entities can attack you. They will be attracted to you. They are attracted to your beauty. Because the entity no longer was able to have that form and shapeshift into his beautiful self, but he was still able to use his voice, his influence, in order to attack certain ones of the chosen one women. You will have kings at certain time, in the time of Abraham and Sarah, in which they were attacked. Abraham understood that he did not want to go up against a king, and he allowed King Abimelech in order to take his wife, so that maybe the king would have unalived him if he had said that that was his wife. And there were many people, and we understand that there had been other kings, King David, as they say, and we want to make sure that the prophets have the utmost character and believe that. But we have to understand that these negative entities are attracted to your beauty. There are a lot of kings in the holy books that would attack men and take their woman if she was beautiful, if they wanted her. There are kings in the holy books that are attracted to multiple women who have multiple wives, so that they had an understanding that they could have all of these women because they were the king. They could afford to have these women. They presided over the land. And they would take beautiful women as their own, as their concubines, as their wives. So these are the understandings that we are having. And again, this same entity also loves to attack men who are beautiful, as we understand. Joseph was a very handsome and a beautiful young man. And he was attacked in the same way by the Aziz's wife. So you will have these entities, male and female, under attack because of their beauty. And in many cases, when we are chosen ones, when we have physical beauty and inward beauty, knowledge, understanding, prophethood, when we have that kind of beauty, we are going to attract those negative entities, especially in our homes, especially in our relationships. So in ancient times, when you had a chosen one woman or man who was born with the veil over their face, and they had a certain light, and they knew that they had this gift from a child, they would dim that light, either physically dim that light, they would mark that child in their face, they would, put scratches, or they would veil that person so that they could not be seen by people who are sending them the evil eye, who would infect them with, demonic attacks because of their beauty, because of their light. So this brings me to my other part of our video. I have been getting questions about, why are, certain chosen ones, certain people attracting narcissists. You're not just attracting narcissists. You're attracting the people that are on your frequency at the moment because you haven't went and studied the holy books. What the holy books say. You are attracted to those entities, those jinns, those spirits who are attracted to your light, who want to target you, who want to control and dim your light through a relationship by bringing you in a low vibrational state. We understand that God creates man and woman in pairs. So your person that God has for you, you are in a low vibrational state. The entity has brought you into that low vibrational state by being intertwined with these demonic entities and spirits in your relationships to make you hate the other. And those persons were not your pair. They were not paired for you. You have been in a relationship with the entity. And until you do the work on how the relationship is supposed to go, how the marriage is supposed to go, what are you supposed to do in the marriage? Researching what the biblical marriage is like. You have to research, what you're going to attract in your life. You cannot just, keep jumping into relationship after relationship with narcissists, because that's what you're going to keep attracting to your beauty, to your light, male or female. Until you do the work and say, oh, okay, this is how God intended man's law and God's law to come together with the marriage so that I can attract the chosen one female for me. My pair that is paired with my gifts, that is paired with my understanding that God has given to me, that she and I can hear the angels talking to us. They're coming into our house and they're talking to us. Again, Abraham. So again, I give you these examples because a lot of people think that I'm a little harsh. I'm a little harsh on people. And, that is not my intentions, to be harsh. My intentions is to give you an understanding that, you can't sit up and say that you are, upset with all women. You can't sit up and say that you're upset with all men. When you haven't read the holy book, when you haven't applied what the holy book said, when you have been intertwined with negative energy entities, spirits, demonic persons, narcissists, and you've never researched how to attract the entity, you've never researched what the holy books say about the marriage, the rights of the male and the female. So the understanding is, when we fail to rule by the light of what God has sent down and judge by the light of what God has sent down, and I cannot say this enough, then I would seem a little bit harsh on those who say that they are, interpreting the book, but they haven't interpreted it in the home. They haven't interpreted it for themselves in the churches. They haven't interpreted it for their children. So these are the understandings that you will have to, live with. You have to live with that, because somebody want me to be soft on you. You want me to be soft on the word when, nobody is teaching this. I'm only going to tell you, like it is. I'm going to tell you that I had to get rid of those types of persons out of my life who I was allowed to date, and then we got married. And then that person, absolutely was saying that he was a Muslim. He was portraying that he was a Muslim. But when push came to shove, he wasn't a Muslim. He was a everyday, a entity. He had an entity attached to him, an angry spirit, a demonic spirit that wanted to be an energy vampire off of women. And I had to do my research so that I did not attract that type of spirit to me. I did not have the mental mindset capacity to say that I wanted a man like my father, because the men of old, it was this type of man. If you want the woman of old, it would be very understandable for you to want the woman of old to cook, clean, and say nothing and be quiet and be your slave. This is what I mean. If you're that type of man, then you're that $40,000 man. You're going by what the entity has given you. But when you want somebody to elevate with, when you want somebody, to bounce ideas off of, when, you don't want somebody to be like the ancients. You don't want the life of the ancients to be repeated. We're going to leave that back there with them. I want, like I said, I want the male, and you should want the woman that is able to elevate with you. You should want the person that has your back, not just sit there and do nothing. So this is the type of spirit that we want to, make sure that we're exercising from our life. That spirit that I'm against, this person because these types of women put me through that. No, those are the type of women that you attracted, that you chose, because you failed to do the work within yourself and see what the holy books said about marriage, how to attract your spouse, male and female. So, when I see these content creators, with the hate content, then I automatically know they're not from God. They're not reading the holy books. They're not going to, the Holy Bible and going, story by story to see how, these people were married. What you should do, in the Holy Quran, when you want to take more than one wife. Do you own land? Are you a great businessman? Do you have the money to, buy houses and cars for each wife that you want to take? Because they can't live in the same house. Okay, so those men and women who have not studied the holy book, then they're automatically going to be angry. They are, they have that angry energy that they try to give to other women and men to make them upset, to share that energy with them. That despicable spirit that, that these women and men have done something to them when they have not stepped into their power as the chosen one, men and women, and discern, this cycle in their life of attracting an entity, a jinn, into their relationship. And you're going to keep attracting that same jinn, that same person, that siphoner of energy, that Jezebel spirit, that Leviathan spirit of arrogance and pride. You're going to keep attracting those types of women and men until you implement and apply what the holy books have given you for the marriage, and you understand the rights of the male and the female. So I hope that you have received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me. Book your one-on-one consultations with me. Leave a comment for me. Let me know how you're liking my content. Book your consultation so that I can acclimate a gift to your relationship, to your situation. Please donate to my channel. Book your live video chat sessions or your life coaching chat sessions. I'm High Oracle, Reiki spiritual healer. Assalamu alaikum.